You're watching 48 Fastcast.
Welcome into our 48 Fastcast, and thanks for joining us. It is a 48 First Alert weather day, so just be aware.
Yeah, starting off your Friday, pretty nice, a little warm out there, but tonight is the main threat for Eric Burke to track here.
Yeah, that's when our storm timeline starts to come into play. It will be an overnight event, so be sure to have multiple ways to receive those warnings as they are issued. Starting as early as 10 p.m. should wrap up around 4 to 5 a.m. on your Saturday morning. Today turns out to be an okay day before the storm threat develops late this evening. This is almost like a summertime severe weather setup that we have. Big line or cluster of storms. The more organized threat for severe weather today will be to our north and west, but eventually those storms start to track in from northwest to southeast. Here's that timeline for you so you can plan accordingly. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. for northwest Alabama. North central Alabama I-65 from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. and then finally into parts of northeast Alabama towards Sand Mountain, Marshall, Jackson, DeKalb County from midnight to 4 a.m. All forms of severe weather will be possible, but I really think the biggest threat with this will be isolated damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Checking your temperatures this morning when you head out for work or taking the kids to school, it is very warm, low to mid 70s, and the dew point is incredibly muggy and sticky right now. Dew point in the 60s to low 70s. That moisture, the fuel for those storms later this evening.
This is your 48 First Alert Road Report, sponsored by Bankston Motorhomes.
And a good Friday morning, and my first Fastcast hello to meteorologist Jeff Denoyer. Jeff, good morning to you.
I feel like I've been a little left out in this Fastcast morning thing going on. We've been trying to do it at night there at 3 o'clock, and it's worked out pretty well, and I'm glad to be here this morning. Outside right now, happy also to report that there are no accidents right now, and for a Friday morning commute, it looks really, really good. All major highways look good, including 565 coming up and over Chapman Mountain, okay. Montesano looks good. Parkway coming down, and also 53 from Harvest. Tony and the Ardmore twins looks good. Research Parkway on 255, no problems at all. Looks really great as you're getting up and ready to go on your Friday morning. Decatur to Huntsville will take you half an hour. Coming up from Owens Crossroads will take you about 21.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Happening today, a Huntsville man who shot and killed his wife in front of their young daughter will learn how much time he'll spend in prison. Reese Jones has already pled guilty to manslaughter for the shooting death of his wife, Erin Jones. He was originally charged with capital murder but pleaded down to manslaughter. The Madison County DA's office has told us since Jones was drunk at the time of that shooting, his underlying intent was in question. Jones is scheduled to be sentenced later this morning, and he faces up to 20 years in prison. And police last night are looking for the person who robbed the Dollar General last night. Huntsville police tell us an armed robbery happened at the Dollar General location on Highway 72 near County Line Road. This just before 9 last night. Authorities didn't say what the suspect was able to steal, and no one has been arrested.
All new this morning, Marshall County prosecutors have charged 2 men with burglary after they say those men stole cash and guns from a building. Skylar Hill and Blake Poole are accused of breaking into a garage building on Aldridge Gap Road near Arab in April and stealing weapons, tools, and money. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office arrested the men earlier this month and charged them with burglary and criminal mischief. Deputies say they recovered 13 stolen guns. Also new this morning, Florence police say while an officer was arresting a woman, she bit that officer in the arm. Anika Brady was arrested Tuesday. The officer was taken to the hospital and later released. Brady is charged with assault on a police officer and resisting arrest. She is also facing charges in an unrelated case. Last week, authorities in Giles County, Tennessee says she sped off from them and then headed into Lauderdale County. According to our media partners at the Times Daily, Brady is accused of driving more than 110 miles per hour during that chase. There is a new police chief in Cherokee. Chief Colin James, who started working with the department in 2022, has been named the permanent chief. He has been the interim chief since former Chief Josh Phillips resigned to take a job at Tuskegee University. James was originally with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office and the Russellville Police Department before working in Cherokee. He told our media partners at the Times Daily that he wants to focus on applying for grants that can help his officers.
Well, settlement has been reached in a massive animal cruelty case out of Lauderdale County. As part of that settlement, Teresa Counts is surrendering over 80 dogs to the animal shelter and giving permission for officials to search her property without a warrant. She was arrested earlier this year on animal cruelty charges after those dogs were discovered on her property. Those dogs have not been available for adoption since they were considered live evidence, and Counts also did not willingly surrender them at first. In exchange for turning over those dogs, her animal cruelty charges have been dropped. Well, heads up, scammers are taking advantage of theater goers at the Von Braun Center by selling some fake tickets. Les Mis just recently wrapped up its time at the VBC, and the 8 showings, 20 different instances of fake ticket scams were reported. Will Elric with Broadway Theater League says these scams come in 2 different forms. In the first scam, a website will resell tickets for up to 10 times face value, and then another website sells tickets that just flat out don't exist. One woman we spoke with says she tried to buy tickets for the Huntsville Havoc only to realize she had been scammed as well.
I have the tickets right here, and they're like, no, we don't even sell through like this vendor, so like you got scammed, unfortunately. Definitely go through like the actual website, or like make sure that they're legitimate or from where like tickets normally are sold through the VBC.
And as she said, the best places to get tickets online for those events at the VBC are through their official website or through Ticketmaster. You can also get them at the box office to avoid those online fees.
Still to come, students at one local high school are honoring 2 classmates who died last year, how they're being remembered at graduation ahead. Well, Austin High School plans to display a heartfelt tribute for 2 students who were supposed to graduate alongside their classmates. 2 empty chairs with flowers will be set out in memory for those 2 young men. The school will be honoring Josiah Flood and Jeremy Williams, who both tragically died last year. Josiah's mother, Rachel Aponte, tells us it means a lot to her that the school is honoring her son at graduation. She plans to attend graduation to honor Josiah and to celebrate his friends. Aponte says her son was really looking forward to graduating and becoming a welder. His teacher even said he was one of the best welding students he'd ever seen. Josiah was also an excellent football player and good friends with Jeremy Williams, who was also on the football team. Josiah decided to end his football career after the death of his friend.
Came to me shortly after that and said, I don't think I'm going to play football anymore. It was very shocking to me because he was going to go on to the NFL and become this huge, big football player. But I think that just really impacted him in a different way, maybe thinking life is short.
Aponte wants her son to be remembered for his kindness, and Austin High School will have 330 students graduating this year.
Today is a 48 First Alert Weather Day. Sponsored by Mr. Reuter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Well, good morning once again, everyone. Today, a 48 First Alert Weather Day for the threat of strong to severe storms overnight tonight into early Saturday morning. Most of the day pretty harmless for a Friday, mostly cloudy. Warm temperatures in the mid-80s will feel like low 90s with the high humidity, and winds will be breezy. But through the afternoon, we actually have a cap on the atmosphere with some warmer air aloft above the surface, and that will suppress any storms from developing. Now, later this evening, we'll be tracking a line or a cluster of storms coming out of Tennessee. These storms have the potential of being strong to severe. We're expecting a ton of cloud-to-ground lightning, probably some loud thunder with this as well. well. Main concern will be damaging straight line wind gusts, maybe in excess of 60 miles per hour. Threat for large hail, and there is a low end tornado threat, something we're watching here. Some breaks in the clouds as we look at your hour by hour forecast. Afternoon high temperatures in the mid to maybe even upper 80s with those breezy southwest winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. Here come the storms, potentially strong to severe with the wind, hail, and lightning threat moving from northwest to southeast. These will be very fast moving storms by 2 o'clock already east of I-65 and then tracking out. These storms are gone by about 4 to 5 a.m. at the latest on Saturday. Saturday, despite the morning storms, actually turns out to be a very nice day. Highs will be in the mid 80s, mostly sunny to partly cloudy. We are expecting some storms to pop up very late Saturday evening, potentially into parts of the day on Sunday. Sunday will not be a start to finish rain out, and we've got a stronger front coming Wednesday of next week. And look at that drop in temperatures. No typo, but 67 is your forecast high for next Thursday.
Focus about Alabama on that forecast there. We got what, summer temperatures today? And
Yeah.
67 at the end of the week.
July to September temps. There you
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for 48 Fastcast. Have a good one.